Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. As you can see by the title, your boy has been on a diet. I was not letting lockdown ruin my plans of getting lean. Hopefully you'll agree from the pictures on the screen, probably here and here, that I did get quite a bit leaner. And personally, I am really happy with the results. But remember, they do say the camera adds 10 pounds. So, I actually look so much more shredded in real life. If you saw my cardio video a few weeks back, you'll know that what's really bugged me during this lockdown period is people complaining that they can't exercise, they can't lose weight, they're off their diet, all these things. Really, it's all just excuses. It's a load of rubbish. So I put this video together to show you guys exactly how I lost 12 pounds over lockdown pretty easily. Hopefully this will help you to understand how to put together your own cutting plan, whether we get a second wave or whether you just want to lose some weight going back into normality. This video is going to show you how to do that. If after this video you still have some questions or you're not sure how to go exactly about it, do let me know in the comment section below. And also please take 2 seconds to subscribe to the channel, it really helps out. And also give the video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it so far. Now we can get into the video. Before getting into the nitty gritty of how I did it, the first thing you need to understand is rate of weight loss. Because every time I was making an adjustment on my cutting diet or my cutting plan, it was all based around a rate of weight loss, which I set out as a goal at the start. If you're losing weight really slowly, way too slowly, then obviously that's not going to be productive for your goal. However, conversely, if you're losing weight really fast, one, you're going to lose a lot of muscle along with that weight. So yeah, you're losing weight, but you're not actually losing more fat, you're just losing additional muscle. And also, it's probably not going to be sustainable because the reason you're losing weight really fast is probably because you're not eating anything and you're running 12 hours a day. That's not going to be sustainable. So too slow is bad, too fast is bad. Based on most of the research out there, for fairly lean individuals, around 15% body fat, plus minus 5, and then you can add 6 to 8% to that if you are a woman. A good sustainable rate of weight loss in order to maximize fat loss and minimize muscle loss is going to be around 0.5 to 1% of your body weight in pounds per week. So for me personally, I was aiming for somewhere around 0.7 to 1.4 pounds a week, kind of in that ballpark. Okay, so when I think about the factors which come into putting together a cutting plan, they all kind of fit nicely into 3 sections. And these 3 are diet, training, and cardio. It obviously goes without saying that diet is the most important thing for putting together a cutting plan, because if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to be losing weight, and the main thing that's going to determine your calorie deficit is your diet. However, for me, training was of second importance, nearly as important as diet, because I wanted to make sure I retained most of, if not all of my muscle during this period. Also, something which doesn't really fit into my 3 sections, but is just too important not to mention, is sleep. Throughout the duration of my cut, I put such an emphasis on getting consistently good sleep of at least 7 hours, around 9 hours max, which is pretty easy when we're on lockdown, we've got a lot of time to be sleeping. But I wasn't just focusing on the quantity of sleep, I was also focusing on the quality of my sleep. So I was doing things like lowering the temperature of my room, which is not possible on days like this where it's 32 degrees and I look like a sweaty mess on YouTube. But anyway, I was not looking at blue lights for a few hours before bed. I was reading rather than going on my phone. All these things to improve the quality as well as the quantity of my sleep. Getting optimal sleep can be the difference between feeling hungry the next day and not feeling hungry. It can be the difference between losing weight and not losing weight. The difference between losing muscle and not losing muscle. Having energy, not having energy. Being happy, not being happy. You see where I'm going with this. Get your damn 7 hours. Damn. So let's start things off with talking about diet. The only thing you need to lose weight is a calorie deficit. It is a fact. If you're eating less calories than you're burning, then you are losing weight, there's no question. So because of this, diet is hugely important. For me, setting up this part of my cutting plan was easy because I've done it plenty of times before and I know where my intake needs to be. But for the sake of you, I'll run through quickly how I did it. Calories are always going to be the basis of your diet. So to set this, I simply subtracted 500 calories from my maintenance calories, the amount of calories I burn every day. This gives me a deficit of 500 calories per day, which if you add that up over a week, is 3,500 calories of deficit, which roughly equates to a pound of fat loss, which puts me right in that middle of where I wanted my weekly fat loss rate to be. I then just adjusted my calories down slightly by 50 to 100 whenever my rate of weight loss wasn't where I was hoping for it to be by the end of the week. This is to compensate for the reduced metabolic rate, which is bound to happen as you get deeper and deeper into a diet phase. After calories, we have macros, and macronutrients are what your calories are made up of. The priority here is getting enough protein because this is going to keep you feeling full throughout the day, and it's also what's going to help you maintain muscle when you pair it with resistance training. You'll be completely fine if you set your protein to around 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're relatively lean. If not, just use your lean body mass. But personally, I like to set my protein a little bit higher when I'm dieting, just because I do find that I get really hungry, so that extra protein helps. So I set my protein to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. After this, I set my fat intake, and I'm not a massive fan of fatty foods. So personally, I set my fats relatively low. I just set them where they need to be for health reasons. I'm just trying to keep my hormones happy. So for me, I set my fats to 50 grams a day, and this is going to be a pretty good place for most people, but you can play around with fats. I think for most people, somewhere between 35-40 grams and 70-75 grams, somewhere in that ballpark. Camera died, quick change of scenery, back at it. Carbohydrates, nice and simple, they just filled in the remainder of my calories. So with food choices, remember, these aren't going to make a difference with your weight loss because it's calories in versus calories out which determine that. However, they are going to make a difference with your mood, your energy, your hunger, your satiety, all of those kind of things. If you're tired and hungry all of the time, then you're much less likely to stick to the plan. So for me, my food choices were based on 3 things. The first of which was high volume foods. So large foods which contain a small amount of calories so I could eat a lot of them and feel full without going over my calories for the day. If you need to learn more about this, click the link in the description to my video on high volume foods, it will be in there. I also ensured that my daily fibre intake was very high. Fibre basically holds onto water and bloats up everything that you eat in your stomach, which is going to make you feel physically more full, and it's also going to massively reduce the time it takes to digest your food. So if you eat a lot more fibre in every meal, you'll be digesting those meals throughout the day rather than getting through it quickly, so you'll feel full for a longer period of time after each meal. I was eating over 40 grams of fibre a day, which if you track your current fibre intake, you'll see that's quite a lot. And then lastly, I just made sure I enjoyed the meals that I was eating. I wasn't forcing myself to eat whatever somebody told me I should eat. I was eating the things I loved: roast potatoes, protein oats, popcorn, those kind of things. I wasn't jamming donuts and Pop-Tarts into my macros, but I was eating the good foods which I also enjoy. In terms of making adjustments to your diet, I think it's really important to keep this simple so it doesn't become a source of stress within the plan. So as you go through a diet phase, it is pretty much guaranteed that your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, is going to go down, and there's so many reasons for why that happens, but basically it just means that at some point it's inevitable that you're going to have to make an adjustment to your diet and decrease your calories. So like I said, keeping things simple, just monitor your weight loss. If it doesn't reach the rate that you're aiming for at the end of a week, for the next week, decrease your calories every day by 100. At the end of that week, see where you are. You might be fine to leave it, you might need to adjust your calories again. So make those adjustments on the fly. Just also bear in mind that the reduction in your calories should always come from removing carbohydrates from your diet rather than protein or fats, because protein and fats, your levels are set where they are because they need to be there for health, muscle maintenance, hormones, all those kind of things, whereas your carbs can be moved around. So take calories out by reducing your carbs. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, training was of second most importance to me for muscle retention. If you aren't properly resistance training with a high level of effort and intensity, then your body isn't going to hold on to muscle when you're losing weight because it's an expensive thing to hold on to. You need to make sure your body knows it needs that muscle. Lifting weights can literally be the difference between losing fat and muscle 50-50 or losing 95% fat and 5% muscle. The science is out there to prove it. It makes a huge difference. So for me personally, I stuck to my usual routine during this time. A push-pull leg split twice per week. So I was hitting every muscle group twice a week and having a rest day every 4 to 5 days. Usually I'd rest every 5 to 6 days of training, but I reduced that as my recovery capability would be lowered whilst in a calorie deficit, and I wanted to give my body as much chance of keeping up as possible, so I increased the frequency of my rest days slightly. Just like with diet, there was days where I felt like crap and there was days where I didn't want to stick to it, I didn't want to train, but guess what? I did anyway. That's the commitment I made to myself. I said that's what I was going to do. It was in my cutting plan. So on the days I didn't want to do it, I still did it. And that's what you've got to do to be successful. If you can make yourself train hard on the hard days, then training hard on the easy days is even easier. And then the last of the 3 sections is cardio, and it comes last because it is definitely the least important. Cardio is simply a way of increasing your total daily energy expenditure. You do not need cardio to lose weight, but it does help. Like I said, all cardio does is increase your calorie expenditure throughout the day, meaning that you can eat more and stay in a calorie deficit, or just get into that calorie deficit easier. Personally, I didn't do any formal cardio as such, but I kept track of my activity levels and made sure that it was nice and high. So I set a step goal and kept track of it on my Fitbit, and I made sure that I hit it day in, day out, every single day, which you will see on the screen right now. Sunny, cloudy, tipping it down with rain, hot, cold, whatever it was, I was outside getting my steps in, because again, that's what was on the plan, that's the commitment I made, so that's what I damn well did. I started at 10,000 steps a day, and then throughout the course of the cut, I slowly increased up to 15,000 steps a day. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not when you break it down. I was going for around a half an hour walk in the morning, around an hour walk in the evening, and then in between that time, I was just doing life, and that added up to my 10 to 15k steps. Like I said, all this did was elevate my total daily energy expenditure, which meant I was able to stay in that calorie deficit whilst eating more food and maintaining my rate of weight loss that I set out for myself. Basically, the more you move around during the day, the easier it's going to be for you to stay in a calorie deficit comfortably and achieve your goals. It doesn't need to be formal cardio like you might think of it. It could literally be walking to the shops instead of driving. It could be a 15-minute walk after every meal you eat. It's simple stuff. And there we have it, guys. That is exactly how I lost 12 pounds of fat during lockdown, while everyone else was complaining about getting fat. By the way, setting up your plan like this is easy to do. It's following that plan on the tough days, which is the hard part. So use this video to create your plan, stick to it on those tough days, follow through, stay dedicated, and I guarantee you will be able to get to your weight loss goal. If you learned something from today's video, then please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, AshMayPT, and also give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Leave a comment below the video and let me know if you have any more questions. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, see you later, guys.